How come it always does that?
Stop broadcast.
There's stop broadcast. Now we're live?
Live.
Hey.
No, we're not. Yeah, I think we are.
How's that? That's like premature ejaculation 7 times over, man. Talk about learning. Okay.
Yeah, no shit.
Actually, doing the test run isn't such a bad idea. Okay, do you want to do the intro?
Hey, it's Chris here.
It's Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Hey, this is Chris, and you're watching another live broadcast from the lighthouse.
Don't look at me, man. You're fucking doing the intro.
I am doing the intro, but I'm looking over it. Thank you, my sidekick. Anyways, it is such a pissy, rainy evening out here in Trail that, wouldn't it be nice to finally see cannabis legal? Nobody getting busted, fined, whatever for a simple plant. Trudeau promised that if he became prime minister, he would legalize it. But we haven't heard how he's going to get this done and the process and the time frame in which to get it done. So those of us, whether you use it for medicine or recreationally, those people that enjoy this plant and use it for what it's meant to be used for, we need to call on our MPs and our Senate. We need to bombard our Prime Minister with emails, with letters, whatever. Same with our MPs. We need to basically force this issue. Say, hey, is it going to get done within the first term of this Prime Minister's government, or is it going to be another empty, hollow promise that we've heard from the Liberal government before? The Trudeau government needs to live up, not pull what Chrétien and Paul Martin have done. The government's passed. String you along to get your vote, and then don't hold their end of the bargain. Chrétien was going to decriminalize cannabis. He never did. Martin kept dithering around about it.
What the fuck? Hi. So we finally fucking figured out how to get live on air. We had several dry runs. Seemed like every time we turned on the computer, we weren't broadcasting live. I think it's like saved on my computer somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Okay. That's Chris.
Hi.
Right? As your what? Captain Ass Gasket. I'm Tash, otherwise known as the Pumpkin Queen. We are broadcasting. What we are calling this station is the Lighthouse. What we're here representing is social justice issues. First and foremost on the list, 420. Why smoke pot openly?
Because it's our God-given right to.
No.
Genesis 3:3. God gave the plants and the seed-bearing herbs to mankind, humanity.
That's a lame argument.
It's not a lame argument, because we have cannabinoids, or the plant has cannabinoids that we need that go into our receptors of our brain.
Back it up. Okay, here. Pot is proven medically effective in the treatment of various physical illnesses.
Sclerosis, MS.
From cancer to chronic pain management to degenerative diseases, right down to morning sickness and weight loss. It doesn't work for certain mental health issues such as schizophrenia or bipolar. It does work for other mental disorders such as stress and anxiety, particularly PTSD. Stress. So
hyperactivity, ADD, ADHD.
Yeah. And anybody who knows me and some of my philosophies knows that from way back I've always been 420, and that the fight to decriminalize peaceful people who otherwise would not be criminals is something that I have been active in for many years. So nothing new there. But it also, we have an interest under the lighthouse to represent the same issues that, I know I was brought up on ideas of free, renewable food sources that are locally grown and distributed.
And I'm a firm believer in renewable energy.
Affordable housing,
mm-hmm.
or even free housing, because the revenue is there in the form of the taxes that we pay. It's the manner in which it's appropriated that creates the inequality between peoples. What they have is a system intrinsically designed to enslave one class of people and ensure
the distribution of wealth,
and ensure that they remain in a state of constant desperation.
I was gonna use a word, austerity. It's like they keep you under an austerity. We're seeing this happen in Europe. History has shown us this when we won against Germany in the First World War. What happened to the Germans?
Yes, austerity measures. Which are really actually an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
An illusion that is created by people who wish to control you and use you for their own profit.
Yep.
There is actually no shortages or deficits. There's plenty. They just don't want to share it.
No, they're greedy.
Greed, yeah, pretty much. But anyway, that is, so there's that part of it.
The other part of it has to deal with the fact that we have the stupid idiots going around in Ontario now, in Toronto, putting up racist posters and use Toronto in that.
Oh, division between the races. Yeah,
we have a class war and a race war.
Black lives matter.
All lives matter. Not just black, not just First Nations. All lives. We're humans that live on this earth.
The medicine wheel matter. The medicine wheel has 4 colors. One of them is white, right?
Red, yellow, black.
I was raised in a family that was heritage front, fucking racist, and very Aryan. I hung out with kids that were every color of the fucking rainbow. I don't care. I mean, like every color of the rainbow. And that's okay. I come from Parkdale. There's so many different ethnicities living elbow to elbow that if we didn't fucking learn to get along, there would be blood in the streets all day long. Yep. Right? And there was for some time.
I grew up in Kitchener, Ontario, and let me tell you about the 80s. We used to have Heritage Front and White Aryan Resistance and all these other white supremacist and neo-Nazi groups come down to Kitchener and try with their hate speech. And a lot of us would run them the fuck out of Kitchener. And I'll tell you something too, with growing up in Kitchener, I've seen the division between races. I've seen this growing up, where there's mistrust because because of this person's skin color, their ethnicity, or where they're from, and all their, and it's bullshit. Because why do I say this? I'll take a knife and I'll cut myself. Now, as an example, give me an African Canadian. Give me a person with First Nations blood or an Inuit. Give me.
Okay,
give me
my long-winded friend says we all fucking bleed red and we all breathe air. And all of our fucking shit stinks, and everybody fucking got to put one foot in front of the other. So, yeah. Did I fucking steal your thunder? Go ahead.
No.
Kick me in the ass.
No.
Yeah. Well, also though, because we managed to achieve unity amongst the different factions in our community, we managed to do amazing things, like expropriate misused properties owned by our government and repurpose them and maintain them and hold them for the use of disabled, disadvantaged people. And
we need to be doing more of that again.
So it's
especially out in this area of British Columbia, the West Kootenays, because housing is slim to none.
The only reason that we were able to achieve that is because the working man and the man on the street, because the economic sanctions had become so severe and drug addiction so prevalent that everybody had somebody right next to them in their family that was either dealing with absolute poverty or drug addiction and the mental health issues that go along with it, that there was a communal consensus that something had to fucking change. So it galvanized the community. Right?
It did this in Vancouver.
I see similar things going on here. An unequitable distribution of resources and training, abuse of power, things like that.
Yep. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I know it.
But it's our kids that suffer.
Yep.
Because ultimately, we're already dust, man.
But what about the next generation and the one after that and the one after that and so on?
Yeah, man, I made babies. They're gonna take it all over, and
we've got to give them something.
I don't know. I don't want to hand them something broken and
no, neither do I.
And be like, oh well, I'm glad it's somebody else's problem.
No.
You know?
No, it's like we've got to fix the problem so future generations have a brighter, better future.
Anyway, on that note, stone soup.
Oh yeah.
Stone soup.
Or stew.
Discount meat is the recipe for stone soup. Discount meat, crock pot.
Discount pork roast.
Well, that's what we use this time. You can use any old beef, time.
You can use.
Yep. This is what you use for your base. You put in onions, garlic, and whatever kind of seasoning you want, herbs, and then try and get your hands on root vegetables from your local food banks and community gardens, right? container gardening is a good idea and can be done inside in the winter.
And you know what? This cost about $12. This roast I got was like 11 something, and it even came with a little thing of ribs.
Anyway,
You know, it's under a $20 meal.
Generally, you can make a 2-quart pot, which will feed a man for a week. And that's at whatever cost for the meat. And you can also do it as a potluck sort of thing where you can get together and pool resources and
Yep.
means of cooking.
You've got to sometimes share on things. You've got to sometimes work together because of the way things are going.
It's a joke because the food bank could be doing this, right? But
not in Trail.
I don't know.
My issue is with the food bank here is if I'm going to get food and I live in the same place that Tash does, why do I need to get Tash's birthday and whatnot information for me to access that food bank to get myself food? Why did they insist upon only for both?
Anyway, I am going to make a rule right here just for the sake of peace that we will not
Grape?
well, specifically mention local or affected individuals in derogatory fashion as a rule. Like, back to the rules.
Yeah.
I forgot for our intro, you know what I mean? The house rules. The house rules. I don't even know if that comes in backwards or not. It probably comes in backwards. But that's okay. If you're watching this, you're probably dyslexic anyway. And that's where we come from. All right. Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. To my peoples out there, if you see this, I love you. To my babies out there, if you see this, you are precious. You are beautiful. And I love you with every piece of my being.